not change your clothes and not take a shower and stink and not shave.
Yeah.
They walk around with tore up clothes.
And shoes that don't look like this.
Yeah.
I've had these for a year, but I
would rather just look clean and feel good about myself than ask anybody for anything. But I don't feel bad doing this, but I feel really bad just going up to somebody and be like, hey.
Well, you got that one kid who walks up to everybody and says he just got out of jail. He needs 75 cents to get on the bus. He makes $80 a day.
It's like $80 a day.
There was one guy that had a big boil. It looks like he needed to go to the hospital really bad, and that was his pitch. Instead of him going to get that thing fixed, and I don't know what happened to him because I've seen it maybe like behind a bush or something.
He did get arrested, but they let him out of jail.
You know who I'm talking about? Yeah, he had something on his hand. He kept walking up like, I need to bust.
So we're here with Sarah, and you've been living on the streets how long?
30 days, a little over. We jumped house to house before that. Now we're on the street for about 30 days.
Okay. Most people would say that you don't look like you're homeless. What would you say to people who would say you don't look homeless?
What does homeless look like?
Okay.
How would you describe homeless? To me, a CEO could lose his job tomorrow or a week ago and then lost his bank account, his house, and everything. And he's on the street, but he owned $1,000 suits, and he's wearing them every day. I got the clothes on that I had before, so I don't look homeless, but I had a bad situation, and here I am.
What's the hardest thing about being homeless?
The way people treat you. The weather's bad. You get caught in the rain, and you get soaked, and then you gotta figure out how to do your laundry. But to me, it's how everybody treats me. It's the looks I get, the pulling their kids away, the assuming they know my story or know about me but don't really know anything at all because they don't care to ask or they don't want to know because they don't want to know the reality because then they might have to say something or do something about it and they don't want to. Right. Everybody's selfish.
The night I met you, did you find it odd that I wanted to try to sleep on the streets?
A little, because no one ever wants to do it, and it's a hard thing to do as you found out.
Right.
But I quickly realized that you cared enough to figure out what we needed, what was going on, and try to fix it.
Right. Being a younger, attractive woman on the streets, do you ever get proposition like they think you might be a prostitute?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
How do you handle that?
No, I don't do that. Or I just avoid them and don't answer the question. I just look at him, shake the head. I look at David if he's around, you know.
Never does.
Yeah, he'll be like 30. He was actually 30. When we was holding our sign up one day, he was down there and I was right here, and someone came up and asked me if I needed a ride and was, quote unquote, do you want to do something?
Right.
You know, and no, I don't want to. That's my dude down there. Well, I didn't ask you if you had a man. I asked you if you wanted some money. You didn't ask me that in the first place. You asked if I needed a ride. So now I know what you really want.
Gotcha.
You know, I get it every day. I even have Reds vendors ask me if I want to make $150. I've never sold myself, never will sell myself. I've had people ask me if I want to come live with them.
Are you a church man?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Fine.
So do you live out here? No? So how'd you know I was a church man?
Because my friend told me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, I got a whole lot of people. I got a whole lot of friends that live out here, though.
Do you?
You need to go to the courthouse. You been to the courthouse?
Yes, I have. Yeah. I stayed out here the other night. So.
I've stayed out here before, too.
Well, we're going to keep praying for him. What do you think about that? And what's your name?
Chris.
Chris, I'm Kevin. God bless you, dear. Well, David, if you don't mind me asking you, do you get scared during the times that you're not with her that something could happen to her?
Every day. I worry about her every time I'm not with her. it terrifies me leaving her alone. And that's why, you know, if she tells me she's going to be at the library, you know, it's fine. You know, I know she's safe at the library, but if she's out walking around by herself and I'm out doing my thing,
I'll get pulled into an
you
alley.
know, she might get pulled into an alley. It's already happened. Somebody already tried to do it, and then when I got jumped, that's what they were trying to do that night too, or that day too, and it don't fly with me.
Right.
You know, and I'll put myself on the line to make sure that she's safe. Obviously, I've
Right.
already done it.
So when you go out like you did today and fly a sign, in your mind, that's no different than me going to my job, clocking in and working, is it? It's just a lot harder.
It's a lot harder, and you got a lot more to deal with. You know, from being at a job and, you know, clocking in, you're going there with people that you know.
Right.
You know, and you got a group of people around you that you like, and you can have a conversation with, and nobody treats you bad. You know, nobody calls you names, nobody spits in your face, nobody throws candy at you and hits you in the back of the head with it when they're walking behind you. You know, at work, they don't act like they're better than you.
Right. Right.
When I'm out here, standing out here flying a sign, trying to make money, just so that I can get us a little bit of food or medicine or do our laundry, it's, you know, I get looked at like I'm no better than, you know, this piece of dirt laying on the ground there.
So when someone tells you, why don't you get a job, what do you really want them to know?
I mean, I want them to know that nowadays it's not as easy as they think it is. You know, you can't just snap your fingers and have a job.
Right.
You know, it takes time, and you know, it's just not easy.
So to come in contact with somebody like me who just doesn't mind sitting talking to you guys and treating you like human, how often do you meet somebody like that?
It's not very often. I'd say the whole time that I've been flying a sign, I've met 3 people total, yourself included, that have actually cared enough to actually sit and talk to me and, you know, give me advice and, you know, still tell me don't lose your hope, keep your hope up, because if you don't and you lose that, then you lose your mentality. You slowly start to lose your mind. And once you decide that, you know, this is it.
So if you knew, whether it be a family member, a friend, if you knew someone that could give her a home but wouldn't be able to take you, how would you handle that?
I would let her go. I've already.
That's a real man.
So, I mean, I would rather be out here by myself and know that she's somewhere safe.
I don't want to leave him out here by himself.
You know?
Right.
She doesn't, and she wants me. I could go right now to the City Gospel Mission, and for $15 a week, I can have a bed, you know, and 2 meals a day, and they'll help me find a job and all kinds of stuff. But I won't leave her out here alone. And because you have to be in at 6:45, and I won't leave her out here by herself.
Gotcha. So, for people who are going to see this video that want to help me and really make a difference for the homeless, what would you say that Cincinnati needs to do to help you guys?
Cincinnati needs to be aware of what's really going on the street. Who really needs the help? Who's just out here for their own personal gratification? There are, like the other night we were at the Justice Center, there was someone going around asking questions about, do you have hookups with shelters? Do you want hookups? There are people out here who do not want that. They are perfectly fine being on the street. Then there's hoops that you have to jump through to get to those shelters. Or money that you have to pay and you don't have. You know? He could come up with $15 a week, buying a sign. Other places are like $85. The Anna Louise Inn is like $85 a week. But sometimes you have to have kids to go there. You have a lot of places you have to have kids. And
What's that?
I have no kids. I am a felon.
Right.
So which makes it hard for me to get a job. A lot of people look at that background. I'm an addict, or was an addict, I'm a recovering addict. So they look at that background too.
What was your question,
Cincinnati
Brandon?
Well, I have a question. Like,
Okay.
I hear that some people on the streets that they don't get what they really want, so they try and do something terrible, like go to jail so they can get a good bed and food and all that. As being homeless, do you ever think about doing that? Just doing something that's really bad, just to go get 3 meals a day and have a good bed?
Not something really bad because I've been in jail. But, because I don't need more on my record. But I've thought about going back to jail so that I would be safe. Some people think jail's not safe, but you're safer there than you are out here. You get those 3 meals a day, and maybe a little bit, but you're still eating. You have blankets, you have clothes, you can take a shower,
Soft mattress.
a soft mattress, you know. But nowadays, if you do something petty, they're going to kick you right back out.
So Braden, let me ask you, for a youth who's never been up there and experienced this, was this the image you had of homeless people coming up here?
Well, no, there was a guy that came up earlier. He was talking to us, just selling some gloves, and I seriously thought he was like a businessman, like, because he had a suit on and everything, and people don't realize that there could be anybody out there that needs something, but we're just too busy about ourselves to realize what people need, that we just judge people on what they look like. So, because if you see a homeless person, all these people say, oh, it's just, they smell bad, they have no hair, they don't do all this, yada, yada, yada. Well, I'm seeing some, like, good people here that are homeless, and you are treating them like crap because they look like, oh, they're not homeless, so why should I care about them? And that's not right at all.
I've got one statement for everybody who's not homeless and has a job. You are one paycheck away from being in my position.
And